everybody, this is Christopher Brower here with Daily Motor, and today we're driving a very purple BMW M240i. For 2022, we have this new generation of 2 Series, which a lot of people think is ugly, and I don't know yet if I agree with them. I'm not completely sold on the styling yet, but I don't think it looks bad, especially in this beautiful Thunder Night metallic purple color. Leave it to BMW to come up with some clever name for this new purple, but I think it looks absolutely epic. And this is the 2 Series. I know it looks a little bit big. In fact, I parked it next to an E92 BMW 3 Series yesterday in a parking lot, and it looked massive next to it. I'll insert a picture right now so you can see what I'm on about. And of course, perspective has a little bit to do with that, but being in person, you could tell that this thing, it's a little bit big. It's a little more muscular than the last 2 Series, and it's definitely longer. But I don't know that that's a bad thing because cars in general are just getting bigger, so BMW has followed suit with that. And coming around the back, we can see that we have these new BMW taillights that they're integrating into things, which is like an upside down spoon. If you flip that upside down, it looks like a spoon, so that's a little bit interesting. We are running on Continental snow tires today. This is an X-Drive M240i, which all of them are now. They're all X-Drive. No longer can you have a rear-wheel drive M240i. As far as trunk space goes, we actually have a pretty good amount of it, and to make things even better, the seats fold down. So that's pretty neat. Let's go ahead and fold those down. Show you guys how much room you actually have in this thing. Of course, being that it's a BMW, we have power moving seats to allow easy access into the rear area. I'm gonna move this one forward too. There we go. I mean, look how much space you have in here. Sure, this car has gotten a little bit bigger and it wears the 2 Series badge, but look how much room you have back there for things. Now let's see how much room you have for people back here. Now this driver's seat is set to my position, or at least it will be once I get in here. Now that's going to come back a little bit to suit where I would normally sit. Oh dear, it's crushing me. Okay, so there's just enough room back here. I do have a camera on my face, so I'm having to duck or else it would be touching the ceiling here. You can see it swoops up slightly to give you a little bit more headroom. It's pretty cramped back here, but it's a 2 Series, so I'm not super concerned about that. We do actually have our own climate control panel back here though, so that's something. They make you cut your passengers' legs off, but in return you're able to give them their own climate control unit and 2 USB-C ports. And it comes down harsh. 2 cup holders. Those work? Okay. And lots of interesting design language in here, and even though this car is purple, we do have blue stitching in the seats. And a lot of this Toyota CHR-esque design in here on the seats. I will say they do at least make it easy for you to get in and out of, you know. Oh, let's step over our M-branded door sill. Check that out. And it's chrome. Lovely. Now you're done. Okay, here we go. Oh, climb in to the M240i, and you're greeted by pretty familiar BMW design language up front. As far as the dash, infotainment, steering wheel, and I mean really everything goes, it's pretty familiar looking to the new BMW 3 Series and 4 Series, which we saw a couple of years ago. And of course, being a BMW, it's already running the climate control before I've even started the car. So go ahead and start that up right now. Ah, yes. One of the best chimes, I'd say, out of any car. Ah, man, this thing sounds proper. So under the hood, we've got a 3-liter inline-6 making 382 horsepower and 369 foot-pounds of torque, and man, does it sound proper and meaty and just muscular, and I can't wait to take you guys out on the road. For right now, we'll go back into comfort while we're sitting here on our, what's going to be a very brief interior tour, because there's not much in here. That interesting design language carries through to the front door panels with these, I guess they're more triangles. They're not diamonds like you'd see in a Toyota CHR. Pretty attractive front seats here with this little M badge on the side. Leather itself feels decent. Not as soft as a higher end BMW. We've got our crumb collectors here on both sides, of course. Typical BMW sport seat fashion. This very nice chunky steering wheel that's carried across BMW's entire lineup if you get something that's an M or an M Sport. Paddle shifters, of course, mounted on the back, but also a way to shift down here on our shifter. Infotainment, that's pretty normal as well. BMW iDrive, everything reacts very quickly. And of course, being a BMW infotainment system, it's insanely complicated when you actually get into it, into the bowels of the system. What's something cool about BMW is when you see the car in there, it's actually the color of your car. So that is a Thunder Night Metallic M240i actually on the screen there. Everything is good. Yes, everything is good. Okay. I mean, there's just so many things in here. If you're interested in the infotainment and the optional Harman Kardon sound system, make sure to check out Charlie's videos on those things. We'll also have a fuel economy test coming your way on this M240i, so links to both of those things will be in the description. And it has booted my phone off of Apple CarPlay. No idea why it would do that. Oh, yes, here we go. Phone and CarPlay. Aha, it has given me CarPlay back. Okay. Otherwise, we have nice physical controls for our climate control here, but also in a menu, so sometimes it can get confusing. We do have a volume knob down here. Listen to that. That sounds proper. These are all soft touch buttons that you can program to certain things. As you can see, move my finger across them and they do their thing. Anyways, pretty simple layout, but usable. Simple, but usable. It's not like a Volkswagen where you get in and there's 3 buttons on the entire thing and it's just very hard to use. This is all very straightforward. The cluster as well is customizable. You can go through here and change what you want to have. Actually, you have to do it over here on the turn signal stock. Trip computer, horsepower, a G meter. If you're listening to music, it'll tell you what's playing. And I like to have it here in just this very calm layout. It tells me I'm in comfort mode and park. Otherwise, pretty simple layout in here. These lights are massive. Pretty cool design. Of course, we have a moonroof and a power shade. Leave that open for today. Black headliner, very black interior in here, but I do appreciate that we have at least a contour color stitching. All right, well, with all that out of the way, why don't we take this M240i xDrive on the road so I can show you what this thing's really about. .360 camera as well as a swiveling line on our reverse camera. Never rely solely on camera image, it says. I shall not. Okay, into drive here. The shifter's piano black, which is an interesting choice because that means it'll literally never be clean. Even in comfort mode, you still get a good taste of the beautiful sound of that inline 6. And everything's just dealt with so smoothly in comfort mode. BMW always does such a good job calming these cars down. And when I say these cars, I mean non-M cars, because once you get to the M car level, it's a little bit tough to actually drive those cars smoothly. But this may be the new sweet spot with BMWs, is these M Sport cars. Okay. We will save the sportiness for when we pull out of here. This thing is a rocket. It's so hilarious that this is not a full M car. It's technically an M Sport, or whatever you want to call it nowadays. It is blisteringly quick. I mean, this feels faster than the M3 and M4 that we tested last year. And this is not even an M car. It's an M Sport car, and it's so fast. Oh my gosh. Now, BMW claims 382 horsepower, but I'm not sure I believe them. This is a 3,800 pound car, so it's not exactly light for the size that it is. You know, that all-wheel drive system is pretty heavy. It's still a very nimble car as well. Not as nimble, of course, as the 230i, which is a rear-wheel drive, slightly lighter car. Oh, but this thing is just a rocket, and I like the way it delivers its power. It's not rapid and jerky like an actual M car. What I found with the M3 and the M4 is that they're so brutal when you're driving, I mean, in any mode, even in comfort mode. You know, you take off from the light, it's a little bit jerky. It's not the most comfortable thing in the world. What I like about this car is it's able to deliver its power smoothly and in a non-crashy way. I don't feel like I'm going to crash this car, which is very important. That is, you know, it might sound silly, but it's a very important thing. I shall get out of your way. Ooh, there's another gear. There was another gear to be had there. All right, let's go ahead and put this thing into sport mode. Now that's the car downshifting for me. It's actually in Sport Plus right now. What that does is sharpen up our throttle response, sharpen up our gear changes. We do, of course, have this excellent ZF 8-speed automatic in this car, and it's just a glorious combo. That 3-liter inline-6, the ZF 8-speed, perfect amount of power. The car is just a perfect size. Oh. Ooh, big puddle. Oh my God, it's just rapid. Let's go ahead and do a launch control. Launch control is actually pretty simple on BMWs. Just put the car back into sport automatic, turn your stability control into sport, left foot on the brake, right foot hard down on the gas, launch control active. That is just unbelievable for a car that's not even a full M. That's got to be under 4 seconds. I mean, that is just unreal. Oh my gosh, that never fails to put a smile on my face. One of the most intoxicating launch control systems in any car. Oh man. You're still able to hustle this thing around. It's so nimble. I mean, yeah, I know I said earlier that it's gotten a little bit bigger, but it doesn't necessarily feel bigger from a driving perspective. It sounds so cool. I'm so happy that BMW is still saving the 2 Series platform for the enthusiast. Sure, this is not a full M, it doesn't say M2 on the back, but I can tell that this is still an enthusiast car. It doesn't feel as simulated as some of the other BMWs. And not only does it not feel as simulated, it doesn't feel as harsh and brutal. It's just a nice experience. You don't have to worry about every input that you put in on this car, because also the traction control system is so sophisticated that it keeps you in line and builds your confidence very, very nicely. That person's license plate is literally no longer existent. Move, please, I want to go fast. Thank you. I love the sound it makes between gear changes too. When you're on Sport Plus mode and you make a fast upshift, it's just a it's the little things like that that add character to cars that just make me so happy. A couple little pops and burbles there on the down rev. Nothing too extreme though. They gotta save that for the full M cars, of course. We do have lane keep assist going, but that system can sometimes be a little bit sketchy. I found it trying to pull me into turn lanes the other day, and it was very alarming. Also, these shifts, these manual shifts, no matter if you use the paddles, if you use the shifter down here, which I'm so happy is in the proper format, up is down and down is up. Ooh, a lot of snow on here. Ooh, I don't want to get get snow packed in the wheels again. That is not what I would like to do. This thing is like full rally car when you're on snow. Anyways, as I was saying before I got distracted, the shifts are instant. I mean, anything BMW with the ZF 8-speed, I think I've made my mind up about something. This is the best BMW that I've driven in a really long time. Ooh, brake test. Don't want to go through that too fast. The way the car reacts to inputs and the way that it just handles overall is just so brilliant, so satisfying, and not so serious. All of the new M cars that I've driven, they take themselves so seriously and they're so just harsh and brutal. No. It's so fast, guys. I'm not exaggerating how fast this car feels. And there's no way they're being truthful about that. A 3,800 pound car with 380 horsepower and 369 foot-pounds of torque should not feel this fast. This thing, it feels, my butt dyno's telling me that it's got just over 400 horsepower. I mean, seriously, I wouldn't be surprised if this car was putting down 400 horsepower to the wheels. I want to do one more launch control. One more launch for the boys. Now, Car and Driver tested this thing at 3.6 seconds to 60, and that is, of course, with about 0.2 seconds of a rollout. So that would put a real-world figure on this car of 3.8 seconds. And I believe every second of that. I mean, it feels even faster to me. BMW, I'm not completely sold on the styling, but I'm sold with everything else you've done with this car. Oh man, this car is just a total sweetheart. I mean, it really is. Let's finish the drive here in comfort. Or actually, let's finish the drive in Eco Pro with traction control on. Auto stop start is still off, probably because of climate control reasons. There's a fine line nowadays between cars being too brutal and too soft. And this M240i splits the difference perfectly. It's very fast, but it's not terrifyingly fast. And in M2 form, it may be, but the fact that this car is all-wheel drive, of course, the suspension's going to be a little bit softer than a full M car. And you're able to calm it down in Comfort Mode, Eco Pro mode. It's a really good thing that they've made here, and it's purple. I mean, that's the best part. It's purple, it's fabulous to drive. I like the steering wheel too. Engine, transmission, chef's kiss. It's just such a sweetheart, this car, really, really is. And I apologize for the Saab variant of the Trailblazer next to me that's blasting some sort of music. It's a pretty rare car, the Saab 97X. Oh, and he's gone for it. Should be a matching inline 6, I think, in that SUV. 4.2 liter. It's so funny how Eco Pro essentially just puts you back down into neutral while you're coasting. All right. We are not actually on the Bonneville Salt Flats. We're just in a parking lot, though it does appear to be the Bonneville Salt Flats. Let's actually go for a straight wheel for our photos here. Start stop button, actually in a pretty convenient spot. I don't mind that. All right, let's do one more little walk around here. Oh, I've gotten it nice and dirty. I did actually wash this today for some reason. Not sure what my logic was there. All right, guys, well, thanks for sticking around to the end. Lovely, lovely little car. Not totally sold on the styling. I gotta sit here and stare at it for a little bit longer to have a verdict on that. But anyways, thank you all so much for watching. This has been Christopher Brower here with Daily Motor. And as always, drive on.